Boyfriend's undiagnosed chronic pain made him a freeloader, fine for friends. Suspected a fake, I dumped him. Saw someone's post yesterday about navigating life with a partner who has fibromyalgia and felt inspired to post here. I'm hoping you all can give me some solid advice. I, 26 female, have been with my boyfriend, 30 male, for a little under 2 years. In the time we've been together, his chronic pain, which isn't connected to any particular known condition as he refuses to go to the doctor, has gotten worse and worse. It's reached a point where he's almost incapable of doing chores or house projects, is usually too exhausted. In pain to make or agree to plans, and getting him to do anything outside of the house together is like pulling teeth. His objections always revolve around his pain and fatigue. I've never suffered from chronic pain, and thank God, so I'm not one to judge or accuse someone of making it up, since the pain itself is invisible and my boyfriend looks perfectly healthy, but he's now been unemployed for about 4 months and I'm starting to question things. I'm starting to feel doubtful for a number of reasons, and the main ones are that A. He never turns down his friends' invitations to hang out, even when the activity is something physically intense like kayaking, or going hiking, or going to a music festival, and B. He is never too tired, in too much pain to have sex. Over time it's almost made it seem like he's conveniently in an unbearable amount of pain when he has to do something he isn't all that interested in, chores, and I'm starting to feel hurt that he just doesn't seem to want to hang out with me outside of what we do lazing around the house. I've never accused him of faking or exaggerating his pain, but I have tried to talk to him about doing more fun stuff together, and it always circles back to his pain or him accusing me of trying to keep him from spending time with his friends, which I'm not trying to do by any means. I've done a ton of research into autoimmune disorders and other conditions that could be causing his problem, always bringing my findings and suggestions to him, but he just doesn't believe a doctor or any traditional medicine will help him. I'm also bothered because when we go to family outings or parties that we're both invited to, it's rare, but it does happen, he will talk anyone who will listen ear off about how bad his chronic pain is and how frustrating it is to not be able to find a solution. The thing is, he's not actually looking for a solution. He just smokes weed every day and calls that good enough while lamenting and complaining that his body is the way that it is. He also refuses to return to work because of his pain. For additional context, he seems to have really extreme muscle spasms, tightness, particularly in his back. I'm happy to support him through hard times, but the fact that he won't work is getting concerning and I feel severely stuck. I'm not interested in supporting him financially on a long-standing basis, but at the moment I partially am by covering some of his expenses. If this post makes me a total asshole for questioning the degree of my boyfriend's chronic pain, so be it. I just need help and answers. So, here are my questions. Where do I go from here? Do you think it's possible that my boyfriend is using his pain as a crutch? Should I put some kind of ultimatum in place that will get him medical care and getting attention? Your advice is appreciated. Comments. Comment 1. Even if he does have chronic illness, he isn't doing anything to get a diagnosis or treatment and he is willing to push on for things that benefit him and only him. He's also developed a drug addiction he has no plans of curbing. I am chronically ill. I am busting my ass trying to find answers and help because living like this sucks. I do everything in my power to support my partner and care for our home. While sometimes that's not a ton, I always prioritize contributing to my household over kayaking, which even if I could push through to do, would put me down for a week. This man is using and taking advantage of you, disabled or not. He also has dumped this on you without you consenting to be his financial caretaker. You're not married. There is no in sickness and health here. Leave him. Comment 2. This right here? It's one thing if he was busting his butt trying to find a solution, but he's doing nothing. He's unemployed and not searching for a solution to get him back to work. Is he unemployed? What are his plans for contributing to the household? Considering his inability to function, do you see yourself continuing a life with him and what would that look like? It's a big question. Do you want kids? Do you want to travel? Is he an excellent homemaker? Comment 3. As someone with chronic pain, even if he wasn't lying, I'd leave him. Chronic pain fucking sucks, I've been there. It's been over 13 years. But it kinda just sounds like he's slowly made you into his bangmaid. Either he's faking it so he doesn't have to work or do any chores, or he has no interest in improving his situation, which isn't sustainable if the person isn't going to pursue medical help or disability benefits. Comment 4. Bangmaid that covers his bills no less. Run, original poster? Run. Comment 5. That's what we call a mommy bangmaid update, 3 days later. Thank you to everyone who responded to my post and was so compassionate and kind. It was incredible to hear from so many people who actively battle chronic pain illness and those with loved ones who do. I hope to continue deepening my empathy towards anyone who is struggling with an invisible illness. On to my update. Armed with some fresh perspectives, and some fresh frustrations, lol, I talked to my boyfriend and told him that he needs to see a doctor or I will no longer be able to support him financially and stand by while he remains unemployed and unmotivated to get the help he needs. I also addressed the idea of balancing his energy levels differently so that we're able to share household responsibilities more effectively, spend quality time together, and keep him doing the things he loves with his friends. His response was really bad. He told me that if I'm not willing to step up and clean around the house, something I'm already doing, that there's no use living together and that my efforts to clean are the bare minimum and not good enough for his standards anyway. He was also really mad that I haven't taken initiative to take care of yard projects and car repairs. He sat there and spouted off a whole list of things I'm not noticing and cleaning. And, once again, he was focused on this idea that I don't like his friends, am jealous of them and want him spending less time with them, which isn't true at all. This really stung. He basically brushed over everything I said and focused on my perceived faults. This told me everything I need to know and I told him I was leaving. He was just mad. Not sad or hurt at all. I'm still crying excessively over his whole reaction. I still don't know how real or unreal his chronic pain is, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Thank you again, everyone, for your support and kindness. I'm truly at a loss. Comments. Comment 1. Original poster. I remember your first post. I know you're very sad right now, and you have a right to be. But don't let grief overstay its welcome. You are so much better off and he just lost his bangmaid. Expect him to come crawling back when he realizes you're serious. Don't believe anything he says. This internet stranger is proud of you. You deserve someone who can be your partner regardless of whether they have an illness. That doesn't mean they're critical or cruel. Comment 2. Oh man. The idea of an unemployed, constantly stoned layabout accusing someone else of not stepping up is just mind-boggling. Good on you for not letting him take advantage anymore. Comment 3. Listen to me. You will wait a week or 2 or 4, but he will try to come back to you. You did everything for him. No one else is going to do that. While taking on all the financial burdens? Yeah, he's toast. He was absolutely faking it. You don't need to think twice about it. Update us when he comes crawling back. Or once his parents are done with him. Good for you. I remember this from the other day and I was so upset that you did all that for so long. You're going to be much better off in life and I'm excited for you. Now to the next story. Story 2. Am I the asshole for kicking out my mom's boyfriend after he stayed at my house for 4 years? His new girlfriend has now disrespected me in my own home. When I was 17, my mom came into money. She tried to keep it quiet, but she paid off my dad's debts, bought him a small house, paid off her debts and paid for my sister's college and set up funds for mine. She had a boyfriend at the time and shortly after him and his son who was 7 moved into our new house. Over the next few years Mom bought my sister a house after she graduated college. Her boyfriend lived with us and didn't pay anything but he did work. When I was 21 Mom got diagnosed with cancer. It wasn't good. She sat me and my sister down and went over exactly how much money there was. She intended to give her current house to me and both me and my sister were left with a large sum at the end of it. She asked if I would allow her boyfriend to stay in the house with his son until he got his own place. I agreed. Before she died she told her boyfriend he would need to look for his own place but had time to save more for that journey. For the last 4 years he has continued to reside in the house with his son. I haven't minded because we get along okay. I pay all the bills but he does buy food for him and his kid. He has dated off and on and mostly kept the women out of this house, which I respected him for. Until his current partner. She's been in my house 3 times and at first besides feeling a little uncomfortable I was okay with her. The last time this past weekend was the point where I lost my shit. I was making myself some lunch when she came walking downstairs. She grabbed a plate and went to grab food out of my pan. I asked her what she thought was doing. She started telling me how I should look for somewhere else to live and leeching off my dead mom's past relationship as an adult was pathetic. I hollered for my mom's old boyfriend. He came down and I told him I didn't know what he current thinking but I wasn't going to be disrespected in my house. He wouldn't even look me in the eyes as he mumbled something about my mom promising him the house and he was just being kind, letting me stay. First, that isn't remotely true. Mom pulled him and I together after she asked if he could stay to set expectations. My mom met him shortly before she won the money and told him and us girls that she had no intention of leaving him money. She did set aside a fund for his son for college when he gets there, but he cannot touch it, only his son can. He has lived in this house almost 8 years without paying a dime. He should have plenty of money and if he doesn't that's on him. I told him he had 30 days to leave, I wasn't going to house someone who would lie and disrespect me in my house. He left that night with his son, but his ex-wife called to tell me I am cruel and an for her son losing his house. He is here every other week. I really feel like my mom didn't expect him to still be here, but my sister said she feels like I am breaking my promise to my mom, and that made me feel like maybe I am the Comments. Comment 1, NTA. The critical part here is that your mom asked you to let him stay until he got his own place and to give him time to find one. In that time, instead of looking to move somewhere else, he continued to settle into life in the house, to the point where he even started bringing a new girlfriend along. He moved on but didn't move out. Him lying to her and telling her this was his house tells you everything you need to know about his actual intentions to leave. You kicking him out wasn't abrupt. The clock had run out on your mother's kindness and your obligation to her a long time ago, and he was living there on generously borrowed time. Comment 2. OP's mom probably expected it to be a month or two since he's working but has no living expenses and didn't during their relationship, not 4 years. Where the hell is his money going if he can't get his own place? Comment 3. He had at least 4 years to save before OP's mother passed away, plus the 4 years since then. He has only been paying for food and presumably his phone, car insurance, fuel, etc. in that time. He should have incredibly healthy savings, especially as he was living with his sister to save up before that. The mother probably thought that he'd take a month or two to grieve, spend a month or 4 looking in earnest, and be out of OP's hair within the year. If he was saving say $1,500 per month while the mother was alive, rent plus utilities and council tax local equivalent on a 2-bed house flat has to be at least that, pretty much everywhere in what sounds like the US, right? That'd be $72,000 before she passed, the same again since then, and whatever he had beforehand. Of course he could afford to move out straight away. Dude should have a good $150,000 minimum sitting in his bank account. That's most definitely screw this. I'm off to a hotel to complain to people who I can tell a very slanted version of the story to. Money. Comment 4. If it happened exactly as you said, you're not the asshole. If she did say he had time to save, but would need to look for his own place, that means she never imagined or wanted him staying for long. So you're breaking no promises. Did she leave him any money or assets? It's totally possible that your mother would be livid if she knew her boyfriend was still living with her son after 4 years. Oop, no, she created a fund for his son for his college, but that was the only money set aside for him or his son. It's a generous amount, enough for 4 years at a high-dollar school. Anything not used for school will be given to him on his 25th birthday. From what I believe she told me, a lawyer and accountant are in charge of those funds, not me or my sister, so I only know what she told us before she died. Love, Nana. Sweetheart, your NTA. First, I am so sorry. I'm 63 years old and lost my mom 2 years ago and my dad 8 years ago. I am not dealing with it well at all. You are the only one who knows if you're telling the truth. It seems very plausible to me. But, if he was already saving money for a house when he met your mom, then lived 4 years with her and another 4 years with you, that man is just a loser. Is there any way your dad could come stay with you the week he moves out? The first thing you need to do is change all of the locks and get yourself some sort of security system. Please don't feel bad for making him leave. It seems to me that your mom was really smart and planned things out very carefully. Being that he had already lived with her for 4 years, I agree with the commenters who said she was probably thinking a month or two. Not years. If your sister makes any more comments, then you can tell her she's welcome to let him live with her. Again, so sorry for your loss. Please make sure you're safe and take care of yourself. Oop. Thank you so much. My mom was the sweetest person, and when I was a teenager I felt like I was a nightmare to her. I am thankful I was much better in my late teens and 2021, so she got to see me mature a little before she passed. I wasn't always the best daughter, but she was always the best mom. Loved, Nana. If he has stayed gone, I'm really hoping that you have changed the locks and gotten a security system. The first time I read what you wrote, I was thinking he walked out that night because he was upset. When I reread it, I realized that you were saying he moved out. Apologies for misunderstanding. Commenter. I ditto this comment. However, I am 53 and my mom passed away last April. That leech has been taking advantage of your family long enough. You can either set the record straight with his ex and girlfriend or close the book on this chapter. But definitely know that you are NTA and your mom's request has been honored. I know that she is proud of you for being as good as you have been to him and his son. Take care, commenter. How did his girlfriend react when she realized he lied? I would have liked to be a fly on the wall in that conversation. Oop. She sat with her arms crossed when he and I talked, but she didn't say anything else. She left with him. Update, 1 day later. I know the other sub is very subjective on updates, so I figured I would post it here. I do want to take a moment to address some things I saw in the comment. There are trusts set up and neither me nor my sister has full access to the money left us. This was done both because my sister and I were in our early 20s when my mom died and she wanted to make sure we had some stability before we had access and to protect us from people who may try to take advantage, especially while we were grieving. 2. I have a lawyer. He has already informed me legally in my area what eviction laws are, and my mom's former boyfriend will be served with formal eviction papers just to cover myself even after today. So to the update, my dad came over, decided not to have my boyfriend over since he doesn't know about the money side and I wasn't trying to have the boyfriend out of the situation, this morning, and brought along my cousin. For easier telling, I'm going to call mom's former boyfriend. CC showed up about 10 a.m. my time and talked to my dad, then asked if he could have a couple of minutes alone with me. Dad nodded, so my cousin and him went into the kitchen and C and I sat in the living room. I'll be honest, I didn't expect it to go as it had, but I am glad it did. C started with an apology. I don't remember all of the words said, but the basics were he missed my mom, he has been lonely but not alone thanks to me and his son. He was sorry for what had happened, that he got caught up in lust and let someone else fill his head with ideas, and that he owned up to his mistakes and should have never put up with someone who would disrespect me or my mom's memory. He tried to hand me a cashier's check for $15,000. He said it wasn't much, but he wanted me to know he appreciated me and living with me and that he wanted to pay back some of what he owed. I refused the check, both in part because I never wanted his money, but I also don't want to give any possible legal leg for him to stand on if this is somehow him trying to stay. I told him the first part and told him to put it towards a house. He told me he is living with his sister but is going to look at houses with a realtor next week. He did say his son is asking about our next hangout date and said both me and my sister are welcome to arrange time with him. After all of that, my dad and cousin helped him get all the stuff out of the house that he owned. He had brought a U-Haul, and he gave me back my house keys. He apologized again and left. Not what I expected. But it went really well and I feel a lot less like I let my mom down. Comments. Commenter: I'm just being nosy, sure, but how did the woman who thought she's getting you kicked out of your house respond to it all? Oop, no clue. At my house she just seemed smug and bitchy. I didn't ask C about her and honestly don't care. My house is nice, but it's not like it's multi-million dollars or anything. Commenter: had you said all that stuff in the previous post to him away from his girlfriend? Were you not there when he grabbed her to leave? Just wondering, because I assumed it was said in front of her and that's why she left so easily instead of trying to fight to make you leave. Oop. All that got said in front of her was that I wasn't going to be disrespected in my house and he could have 30 days to find new housing and she was not welcome back. That was all I said in front of her and she kept a pissy face on but didn't say anything to me and walked out with him. Update, 10 days later? This is probably going to be my last update unless something unexpected happens, but I thought I would just give a quick update on C. So C called me last week and again yesterday. He put an offer on a house and yesterday got accepted. They expected the close date to be early next month, but I am very proud of him. I know everyone expected more drama, and honestly some of the comments had me worried, but it's been really good. He thanked me a lot for letting him have so much time here, offered me some money one more time for his time here, which I again declined, but I did offer to help him move in when the time comes. Moving sucks. He put down almost half for a down payment, so he definitely was saving money during his time here, and I'm glad everything that happened was an encouragement for him to get into a home of his own. I talked to his son yesterday after he got out of school. We are going to play laser tag this weekend with my sister and he is excited for the new house too. Update, 1 month later. I didn't expect to come back, but I had a surprise this past weekend and I thought I would share some positives. So first off, C got his house. He closed and moved in this past week. He invited me over on Saturday to see the house and told me he had something for me. So some background on my mom. Mom was an amazing, kind woman. She was also heavyset and very self-conscious. Most of the photos I have of her are Snapchat pictures she would send. She hated pictures of herself and she absolutely refused to pose for a camera. I have made many comments since she passed that I worry I won't remember what she looked like since so many photos I have are either old or filtered. So back to present day, C invited me and my sister over and showed us his new place. He thanked us for being amazing people and then he handed us each a photo album. Guys, he had hundreds of photos of my mom printed off for each of us. He told us he hated that she filtered her photos and he has secretly been taking photos of her their whole relationship because he loved the real her. He had snagged photos of us with her at the zoo, photos of her on vacations, photos of her napping, photos of her during hikes. Both me and my sister were bawling looking through these pictures of mom we never knew we needed. He had put some little card notes for dates of each photo and some descriptions on some. He managed to capture her smiling and laughing, things she would never take a picture of because she didn't like her smile. To me, this book is priceless. So that's it. C is amazing, and maybe we had one bad moment, but it doesn't define him or I. He loved my mom, and that matters. We are all going to get together for my mom's birthday in a few months and just celebrate the woman she was. Comments. Comment 1. That's so wonderful and touching. And I love that your mother was so beloved during her life, and now. And so glad that you updated a great resolution to a moment of poor judgment. Comment 2. These photos are a real treasure. It's amazing how much joy can shine through in candid shots like these. I bet they bring back so many fond memories for you and your sister. It's wonderful that C had the thoughtfulness to capture your mom's true essence, her playful side as well as her tender moments. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.